would like to thank you for your time tonight. Have you ever asked yourself the question, why do I have so many bottles of sunscreen? We've all gone to the beach before, and we've all had this experience carrying multiple bottles of sunscreen because everyone in our family usually will have different ranges of skin tones. I know in my family, my stepmother and my sister have very, very pale skin. My brother has really dark skin. I kind of burn easily, but I have a medium skin tone. That's where my product, the Adjust SPF Sunscreen, comes in. The design of the bottle incorporates 5 different subtubes, each containing different levels of SPF within one bigger bottle. Each subtube does have different levels of SPF to accommodate to each member of your family having different skin tones. There is an adjustable bottom knob that lets you select which SPF selection you would like to use with your sunscreen, and no other product on the market has this adjustability factor. Our target market with this product would be mainly towards families with family members that have different members of different skin tones. As I said before, there could be a member of your family with a darker pigmentation or a lighter pigmentation or just someone who burns easily. There could also be couples that would want this product with different skin tones or traveling groups of friends who all have different skin tones. The global skincare market generally makes up $11.1 billion, and sun care makes up 11.7% of that $11.1 billion. So 11.7% of $11.1 billion is $1.3 billion. And tapping into that is critical because who doesn't want a piece of $1.3 billion? The typical cost of sunscreen on the market today goes from $15 to $28. Our product would sell at $31.99 at a slight markup, but the slight markup is important because even though it is more expensive, buyers would believe that they are getting more for their dollar. Why would you spend $20 on one tube of sunscreen when you can get 5 different SPFs for $31.99? Pretty good deal. For expansion, there could be other facial sunscreens that we could go to, or cosmetics industry. I know there are plenty of cosmetic foundations that have SPF in them, or body lotions that could incorporate SPF. For competition, there are cheaper sunscreens, but as I said before, why would they buy one bottle that's expensive when they could buy 5 for only a little bit more? There are also bigger companies on the market such as Neutrogena, Coppertone, and Banana Boat. Which brings me to my next point. There are 2 options with this product. We can either license just the bottle, or we could sell that bottle to other companies such as Neutrogena, Coppertone, and Banana Boat, meaning that we get that credit and they sell that. Or we create our own sunscreen formula and sell it as our own product. Thank you for your time.
We mentioned your sell price. How about your cost? Do you have an idea of what the cost is?
The cost for making it?
The components and the bottle. If you were to sell the product by yourself, what would it cost you to produce?
There would typically be a certain amount of cents for plastic of the bottle. I would like to research how much the plastic would cost, not only for the bigger bottle, but for each subtube component and for the knob on the bottom. And for sunscreen formulation, I would like to look into finding a way to create our own sunscreen if we would go down that road.
So why do you think nobody else came up with this idea? Like none of the big companies like Banana Boat, all that, coming up with a bottle with 4 different kinds of SPF?
They might have been afraid that people would be like, oh, that would be too bulky, but we could design it so that it is slim enough that people would think, oh, that's very convenient, instead of people thinking, oh, that's very annoying, and why would I want to carry this giant container?
Actually, I'd like to pick up on that. So what is the typical size container of sunscreen, and why would your offering of multiple SPFs fit into the standard bottles? Is it 10 ounces, 20 ounces?
Usually around 10 to 15 ounces, about the size of a water bottle, you could say. And it could be slightly bigger than that, but each individual tube would probably contain about 3 to 5 ounces of sunscreen, so it could fit into that bigger container. But I would want to find a size that would accommodate the small, convenient Not small, but convenient size so people wouldn't think it's bulky.
So when you start off, would you want to partner first or go alone first and try to get it in the market?
To start off, I think it would be better to go solo because I feel like if I partnered up with this product, it might take away from the product. But as time goes on, I feel like partnering up would be a smart option.
Just tonight, let's say if I had your product and I wanted to use it and I wanted the value of 100.
Mm-hmm.
If I use that all up and if I want to use 100 again, and I have 4 other tubes in there.
For a
Can I do
possible...
anything to get back to 100? Can I combine a 70 and a 30 and make it 100? Because I want to know what do I do with it if I'm
Yeah.
you know.
There could be a possible expansion option where people could buy refills for these tubes. Just like as you said, if you run out of a certain SPF product, there could be a way that you could replace that empty tube with a new one. Thank you.